Oh, let's find the focus. Come on now. Okay, there we go. The movie was a full movie experience in my opinion, and I realized on the way back home driving I might not be the best movie reviewer because I like to really think positive about all flicks. Every flick makes you think in some way and is useful to someone. I don't like to shit on other people's work because I know what can go into a film, and I think movie critics are a very important thing. They're there to keep films on their toes and filmmakers on their toes to try and always make something better. Something I will say, nothing to do with Logan, but the trailers I watched, me and my buddy, before my hairdresser actually. I went to the movies with my hairdresser today, Victor, very awesome guy. Something that I found, and we both found very funny, is that a trailer about a man spider that swings around and other superheroes is more realistic and relatable than a trailer about dudes in a car. And not to take a shot at one movie for seeming super unrealistic, I'm sure both movies will be good, but it's a funny world we live in when a superhero trailer seems more relatable and realistic than what's going on in a movie franchise that started off as guys ripping around in cars. First of all, I'm gonna say, and a lot of people even just judging on the trailer, you know that the other two Wolverine movies are just compared to this one. Not saying they're shitty, but they're just compared to this one, because this one's really good. Something that's super unique and we saw in the last trailer is we see the little girl, Laura, ripping around and slicing dudes in half. And the way I just described it, I know it sounds cheesy, but the action in this film was not overdone and did not feel cheesy. It felt just very realistic. You saw this angry little girl running around, jumping off this old dude's back and slicing a guy up. It's like this old dude and this little girl fighting brutally together. This movie, the way it finished and the way it ended, I am so happy that more superhero movies are going to be done R-rated. Because Wolverine is a very angry character, so I don't know, it just was cheesy when it's supposed to be this brutally violent superhero, and, you know, all the kills are like, grrr, and they're off-screen. And maybe off-screen is my favorite thing to point out, but it's like, I love this. I loved how they got in there. How you see the claw go through a dude's head, and then you saw it go through the door, and you saw blood, and you see this little girl, she's doing a flip, and she's slicing a dude's head off, and like, this is really stepping it up, and I'm glad that we can move towards these things and see these things, not to be like, oh, the violence, but it is definitely more realistic and accurate to the characters, and it makes the characters feel more real. Like Professor X, you see him in a struggling state, you see him when he's older, what an older man would be like in a dry-ass, heaty desert. Something really satisfying about seeing Patrick Stewart swear and freak out and like roll around like a senile old man, and him and Logan fighting, honestly like older men and their dads fight. And something really kind of just funny about Hugh Jackman screaming at a little tiny girl to shut the fuck up. And oh my god, I could just imagine that on set, being filmed on set that day. Just Hugh Jackman over and over and over again. Multiple takes of him just screaming at a girl in the car to shut the fuck up. So yeah, I guess that is a little bit of a spoiler. I think, yeah, some superhero movies should totally be PG-13. The reason why a lot of films are in PG-13 is because films are like, oh, well, more people will go see them in theaters and it's better because we're gonna make more money. But it is cool to see filmmakers and studios to step out and experiment with the R-rated movies, and it's more of a risk. And something that is totally obvious is I think Deadpool did help. It was rumored that Logan was always going to be R-rated, whether Deadpool helped it or not, but I really do think how well Deadpool went, it really kind of solidated the fact that, you know, R-rated superhero movies can work, and they can be really good, and they actually really enhance it, especially with extremely violent characters like Logan and Deadpool. I walk out and I'm handed a Logan, because I saw an IMAX, I'm handed a Logan poster. This film in a way felt like a tribute to old Western film. Even the movie poster looks like some sort of Western. If you look at Western posters, it's kind of similar poses, except instead of a gun, he has claws, and his young partner has claws. And there was some significance to a certain Western, a very famous Western, being watched and then later referenced in the movie. The movie was so realistic because it really pinpointed and really explored. God, I don't want to sound cheesy, but it it really got into the relationships between characters, and it didn't get cheesy about it. You know, a parent getting mad at their kid, like those real moments. And I feel like, you know, a lot of shows don't show those moments. I feel like most parents do tell their kids to shut the fuck up at least once and scream at them like that. And I feel like a lot of movies don't show that. I don't know, it made all relationships seem realistic. There wasn't any cheesy moments. There was nothing that like made me shake my head and be like, oh my god, this is so cheesy. And that's happened in past superhero movies where it's like, oh, okay. It was cool to see this character who has been such a loner his whole life finally feel comfortable and be in a family. All I'm gonna say is this is a movie that you guys should go see. Every Wolverine role he had in every movie was like a build-up to this big epic, and this is an amazing way to end his legacy as Wolverine. This was a very good settling ending. And the trailer is very accurate, but there's so much like the trailer just doesn't show. See, and I like how more trailers are getting it. They don't spoil the whole movie anymore. And something that was shown, spoilable, and at the very end of the credits it says 15,000 jobs were created and many, many work hours. So it's like 15,000 people worked together on this film. And I feel something like that is very informative and actually does remind people things like this really create jobs and creates careers and lives and opportunities for people. I watch the credits. I always watch movie credits. But even before Marvel did the after credit scene, I got into it just because it is nice to see all the jobs that movies do create. And it is cool to see all the different things. And like every movie there's some jobs that aren't on other movies, and it's just interesting to see all the work that this provided. And it's funny because the credits don't list absolutely everyone that worked on it. It lists a lot more department heads. It's not just like, oh, a cameraman, a soundman, and lighting guy. It's a lot of different people come together and put a lot of work, blood, sweat, and tears to make a flick. I'm not gonna babble on forever. I'm gonna practice these movie reviews. I'm gonna get better at them. I'm gonna start like critiquing, like examining trailers. I'm not just gonna do like reaction videos, but I want to go through and be the guy that picks apart the trailer and like points things out, Easter eggs and stuff. And I gotta practice, and I'm gonna get better at it. And I get better at it by doing and starting off and just struggling through and doing these reviews and, you know, just doing stuff like this. And it's not always gonna be this, but it's like this is how people get better at things, is they practice and they put out content. And because I want to get better at this for you guys, so I'm gonna keep going with this. I'm gonna keep trying lots of different types of styles of videos, and I'm gonna keep working on it. And hey, like shit's might not match everything on my channel, but I'm just gonna keep going. I'm gonna be commentating and creating content for you guys because I love creating content. I love getting feedback. I love hearing that my shit makes people happy and whatnot. So yeah. Anyways, if you liked my rambling and whatnot, make sure you hit subscribe and hit a like. Yeah, you guys have a great day.